Fans of a long-running TV franchise like Stargate keep watching because we love the characters, the storylines, the well-dressed bad guys, and because no long-running television production is perfect, we also get a kick out of spotting errors that made it to our screens. When we posted the first Goof Gate list, we thought we'd found most of the really interesting errors that made it to the screen. Oh, how wrong we were! Fans at gateworld.net and right here on YouTube flooded us with more amazing moments to go back and look for. So not only are we happy to present the second installment, yeah, we have enough to make Goof Gate an ongoing series. The last one on this list is our favorite, and once you've seen it, you'll never be able to watch the episode the same way again. Just like last time, we're looking for on-screen production goofs that are especially interesting. Something fun for longtime viewers to go back and look for. So we're gonna overlook things like studio lights reflected in Daniel's glasses, characters transposing 2 digits in their dialogue, or a reused stock shot that shows the SGC computer dialing the wrong address. If you think you have a great goof for the next list, be sure to check out what's included in part 1. If we haven't already covered it, post it right below that like button. On with the list. Number 1, scripted error. The Serpent's Lair, SG-1 Season 2. Stargate SG-1 second season reunited the cast on board a Goa'uld attack ship headed for Earth. SG-1 is quickly captured, but freed by a secret ally on board, Master Braytak, played by guest star Tony Amendola. As the team regroups and tries to come up with a plan to save the planet from not 1 but 2 Hatak vessels, a bit of real-world production reality can be seen slipping into the shot. The shipping crate near the Stargate has what appears to be an actor's script hanging off the edge. Like Peekaboo Carter on our previous list, this goof was never visible when the episode originally aired in a 4:3 aspect ratio. The show was shot for both 4:3 and 16:9, and when the widescreen edition was first released on DVD, it became a brand new game to look for things that were never visible in frame before. Number 2, Phase Switch, Enigma, SG-1 Season 1. SG-1 has rescued Omok and a group of Tolan from a volcanic cataclysm on their homeworld. Now they wish to try and contact their people, or at least another race advanced enough to help them find a home. But as refugees on Earth, they will have to get past Colonel Mayborn and the military first. It's up to Daniel, a civilian, to defy orders and help the Tolan. When Omok offers to use his phase device to take Daniel out of the room where the Tolan are being held, Daniel steps forward and takes Omok's left hand. In fact, he kind of makes a big show of it. But as they step forward and walk through the wall, Daniel is now standing on the other side of him and holding Omok's right hand. Maybe they could have switched places off screen, but it's definitely an unintentional continuity error, probably to put Michael Shanks on the camera side for the VFX shot. Number 3, Mysteries of Stonehenge, Window of Opportunity, SG-1 Season 4. If you're like me, you've watched Window of Opportunity more times than you can count. But have you ever really stared at what's going on in the background? The ancient planet is P4X639, and the set has these 3 Stonehenge-like rock formations positioned around the Stargate. The rock structures immediately behind the Stargate sit between the gate and the outer wall of the ruins. These large stone formations are always visible in the background throughout the episode, except where the visual effects team had to step in. Both times in the episode, when SG-1 arrives on the planet through the gate, the stones are momentarily gone when the wormhole disengages. There, not there. There, not there. Those are some magical rocks. Number 4, Hiding Place, The Hive, Atlantis Season 2. With the rest of his team off on an ill-conceived mission that got them captured on board a Wraith Hive, Rodney McKay is stuck in the custody of Lieutenant Ford's new coalition. To escape, Rodney gives himself a massive dose of Wraith enzyme, fights off his captors, and makes his way back to the Stargate. As he's dialing the DHD, this wide shot lingers for a good long while. Keep watching. After several seconds, you can see that someone appears to be sitting on the ground behind the DHD. Zoom and enhance. Near the end of the shot, you can see their arm peek out. Presumably this is a crew member who was given some job that required them to try and conceal themselves inside the shot. Or maybe they took a bet that they could be on camera and stay hidden the whole time. In that case, sorry Jerry, it's time to pay up. Number 5. C4 Slip. Lost City Part 1, SG-1 Season 7. SG-1's 7th season goes out with a bang. Here, in the opening minutes of Lost City, the team has discovered a second repository of the Ancients' knowledge. With Anubis forces closing in, Jack decides that the best plan is to destroy it. Until, of course, he chooses to look into it and downloads the entire alien library into his head again. Watch Jack's hands as he pulls the C4 charge out of his vest pocket and sticks it to the wall, right into the corner near the ancient device. Daniel insists that the tech is too valuable to destroy. When the camera cuts back to the colonel, the C4 has scooted 6 inches to the left, and it stays there for the rest of the scene. These sorts of errors can happen when the editor assembles shots from different takes. Clearly the prop explosive either fell off the wall at one point, or more likely the actor placed it in a different spot on a subsequent take. Number 6. Misfire. Homecoming, SG-1 Season 7. Anubis has come to Jonas Quinn's homeworld to find the powerful element Nequadria, parking his giant spaceship right over the Colonan capital. As the rest of SG-1 comes through the Stargate to tangle with Anubis forces, Jonas and Daniel are on board the ship for a bit of sabotage. In the episode's climax, the two use the ship's ring transporter to beam down to the city, where a fight ensues and Anubis First Prime is chased through the gate. It's so easy for this kind of goof to happen when the visual effects that are added in post-production don't quite line up with the actor's on-set performance. Watch Jonas as he and Daniel arrive and start zatting the Jaffa who have captured Teal'c and Sam. The battle ends and the intense music fades, but actor Corin Nemec tries to get off one more shot. You can see his hand making a deliberate firing motion, but since there were no more targets left standing, the VFX artists opted to leave out the final zap blast. Maybe Jonas was just trying to look intimidating. Don't mess with this guy. Number 7. Field Demotion. The Shroud, SG-1 Season 10. We were all so proud when Jack O'Neill was promoted to Brigadier General at the start of Season 8, and again to Major General when he went off to head up Homeworld Command. When Jack first turns up in the Shroud to be briefed by the team in the show's 10th season, he's wearing 2 stars on his collar to reflect his correct Air Force rank. Daniel Jackson has been turned into a prior of the Ori, and now he's in custody on board the Odyssey. Even though he looks like a prior, Daniel claims that his mind is unaffected. Can the team trust him to execute a plan to destroy the Ori? So General O'Neill decides to speak directly with his old friend to size him up. When Jack beams up to the Odyssey to see Daniel in person, he's back down to just 1 star. Evidently a temporary field demotion back down to Brigadier General. At least Daniel was nice enough not to say anything. Number 8. Not quite so abandoned. Bane, SG-1 Season 2. This planet has a bit of a bug problem. In Season 2's Bane, SG-1 finds a once thriving civilization through the Stargate, but absolutely no one around. Not a grizzled survivor, not a cowardly leader hiding in a bunker, not even any bodies hinting at what befell these people. It's a mystery until we get an up-close and personal look at the giant bugs who wiped them out. The opening scene was shot at the beautiful and highly reflective Plaza of Nations, one of Vancouver's major cultural venues. So of course the crew was only going to capture so many seconds of footage without any motion at all. Watch very closely through the glass doors of the building behind Jack, and you can see glimpses of cars passing by, probably reflecting off the glass. A few seconds later, the glass also reflects what looks like a crew member wearing a yellow shirt. Of course, this was an ongoing problem for Stargate's location shoots in and around the greater Vancouver area. After several years of trying to film around traffic and power lines in the steadily growing metro area, eventually the crew gave up and built an entire medieval village on a soundstage, where they had full control over who might be driving a car through the background. Number 9. The Friendly Satedan. Vengeance, Atlantis Season 3. The Atlantis recon team has found a facility where Michael has been conducting his gruesome experiments, combining human and Aratus bug DNA to create monstrous hybrids. In this long shot, the team is walking back to the Stargate, chatting about things like Wraith reproduction and... Hold on, did Ronan just wave at somebody? Yeah, actor Jason Momoa smiles and gives a little wave to someone off screen. Possibly a crew member. Maybe he thought it was a blown take and they would have to start over anyway? But this was a long, walking shot with his castmates delivering a lot of dialogue. We think it's more likely that the actor believed he was out of frame by this point, and he almost is. I guess we'll just say that Ronan was waving to Tayla to try and lighten the mood during a stressful mission. Finally, number 10, Windy Day. The Eye, Atlantis Season 1. Our very favorite goof in this list belongs to the first season of Stargate Atlantis. In the mid-season two-parter, the city is rocked by a once-in-a-century storm, right as the ruthless Janai commander Akastus Kolya, played by guest star Robert Davi, attacks and tries to seize control of the city. Of course, the Atlantis control tower's set was built indoors, on Stage 6 at the Bridge Studios, without any actual open windows or deadly storms overhead. The often-seen observation deck just off the control room faced a blank studio wall with a green screen. So, to simulate the high winds, the show relied on good old-fashioned movie magic. A crew member hiding just out of sight, shaking the potted trees violently as soon as the director yells action. In this case though, yeah, he's not quite out of the shot. Let's see the drama one more time. That's 10 more production errors from Stargate. Which of these have you spotted while watching the shows? And have you seen another interesting or funny production goof? Stick it in the comments below, and if you really want to be kind, leave a time code from the episode so we can go and find it. Be sure to watch the first video in this series for 10 more goofs we've already covered, from Teal'c's backward security card to Carter hiding in the corner of a Goa'uld ship. This wonderful little subscribe button will help you get all the latest Stargate videos from Gateworld. We have lots of plans in the works, and thank you once again to everyone for your incredible support of the channel. Head to our website at gateworld.net for even more Stargate goodness, including the very latest breaking news for the franchise. See you next time.